Hi guys, today we're going to be learning more about fairy tales. Do you know why I like fairy tales? Because if you use your brain, you think, oh, why couldn't that be happening in real life? Yesterday we learned about the frog and the princess, and she kissed him and he became a prince. Would you kiss a frog? I sure as heck wouldn't. Blah. And the frog talked, which just shows how crazy it is. Now today, it's a story about a pea. Now here we have a pea pod, and inside the pod is a pea. Now you see how tiny that little pea is. And you know what the queen does? She takes this tiny little green thing and she puts it at the bottom of about 20 mattresses on a bed. And if the lady has a bad night's sleep, then guess what? She's a princess because she has felt the pea underneath the mattress. Well, what do you think about that? I kind of think, I don't think so. But anyway, that's what today's story is about. The princess and the pea. This is the story of the princess and the pea. Once upon a time, long ago, lived a prince with his mom and dad, the king and queen, in a fabulous castle. The prince was very sad because he had nobody to get married to. He was so good looking that he used to have women all over the land coming to him to try and take him on a date or get married. But there was a problem. He could only marry if the lady was a princess. And just how would the queen know that the lady coming to date her son was a princess or not? Well, there was one trick. She would put a pea at the bottom of a huge bed. The bed was piled high with mattresses. Look, there's the pea underneath the mattresses. If the lady had a wonderful night's sleep, she was not a princess at all. But if the lady had a terrible night's sleep and tossed and turned all night, then in fact she was a princess because she had felt the tiny little pea at the bottom of the bed. So far, none of the young ladies coming to visit the castle was a princess. One night there was the most dreadful storm. There was rain, there was lightning, there was thunder, and suddenly they heard a knock at the door. Who could that be on such an awful evening? At the door was an absolutely drenched, wet woman. Her face was wet from the rain, her hair looked dreadful, her outfit was awful. And she said, "Excuse me, I've been caught out in the rain. Please, can I have somewhere to sleep the night and then I'll go the next day? I'm sorry, I don't want to be an inconvenience." The queen couldn't believe her ears. There was another young girl. Perhaps this one was a princess. She invited the lady to come in and have dinner. And then she went upstairs to make up the bed. And she put the pea underneath all the high pile of mattresses. And she thought, let's see whether this one is a princess. The lady thought it was a bit strange that the bed was so high up, but she was tired from being wet and cold. So she lay down on the bed and tried to go to sleep. But of course she didn't know that the pea was at the bottom of the mattress. All night long she tossed, she turned, she tried this way and that way and this way and that way. And the next morning she woke up. She felt dreadful. She had had a terrible night's sleep. Her hair was standing up all over the place because she had been so restless. It was dreadful. Talk about a bad hair day. She walked downstairs. Instead of the queen being embarrassed and the prince thinking she looked a wreck, they were smiling from ear to ear. And why was that? because when they asked her what type of night she had, she said it was dreadful. It was something uncomfortable in the bed. It felt like a stone. The prince didn't care about her terrible hairstyle. He said, "This is the happiest day of my life." And why was that? Because he had found a princess to marry. He got down on his knees and asked the princess, would she like to marry him? And you know what she said? "Oh, yes, yes, I'd love to marry you." So the prince and the lady, or the princess, were married, and they lived happily ever after. And all because a bad night's sleep had shown the queen that she was a princess. We're going to make a picture of the princess and the pea. So you need to have your piece of paper upright, and we're going to do a bed. So when you do it, I'm doing it in black Koki so that you can see it. You need to have the side of the bed and then the other side of the bed, and then of course the base of the bed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just color it in so that you can see what the bed looks like. We have our bed now. And if you want to do a fancy princess bed, you're welcome to do it in different colors. Now we've got to do the mattresses. So how should we do the mattresses? Well, we need to just make lines across. So she's got lots and lots and lots of mattresses. What you've got to do is decorate each one of those in a different color or a different pattern. So the first one is I'm making a stripe mattress. So Kokis are definitely the best and the easiest way to do this activity. And then let's have, the next one can be dots. The next one could be swirly whirlies. It doesn't really matter what you decide to do. It's just so that there is some kind of difference between each mattress. The next one, I'm going to color a solid line. The next mattress, I'm going to do lines. Oops. My lines are going longwise. Oops, oops, and then our top one, I'll tell you what, let's do zigzags, pink zigzags. Some more zigzags. And as I say, it's just to cover it up, to make it all look pretty. And of course, on top, we've got to have the princess. I always think, do it in pencil first, so if you make a boo-boo, then you can rub it out. So she needs to have a head, and she needs to have a body. Now, if you do the body in the air, it's going to look like she's floating above the bed. So when you do it, make sure her body rests on the mattress. Then she, of course, has legs. She's got 2 legs, and you can do shoes. And her arms, if you want to, you can have them lying next to her side, or you can have them lying down on the mattress. Then she has hair, and I'm just going to do the hair all lying down next to her like that. Right, then you can decide whether she has 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth, or if you want to make her looking at the ceiling, then she only has 1 eye, and then you do a nose up like that in the air. Okay, so we're going to do it like this, and I'm going to make that into her ear and do some more. Right, let's color it in. There we have our princess lying on her bed. And I've made her hair all messy because she's had a really bad night's sleep. Now the last thing we need to do is to put the P on. So you know that a P is green. So we're going to just color it there. If you want to ask Mom if she's got a split P, she might be using those for soup. Then you can have a real P that you can stick on your bed. But anyway, if not, that's absolutely perfect. I hope you enjoyed the Princess and the Pea. And you know, it's also a great idea is if you pretend to be the princess and put a couple of, if you can't find extra mattresses, just put some duvets on the bed and get somebody to play along and put a pea under there and pretend, as I say, that you're a real princess. You can't sleep at night. And then you can wake up the next day looking with your hair all over the place, looking very disheveled, and then you will prove to the prince that you are a real princess and that you can marry him.